Welcome to the B&B in Dubai podcast, a real conversation with people who are building their Airbnb business in Dubai and beyond. My name is Redeet, and today I'm sitting down with Sidhaant, who is building a business in Dubai very successfully. Sidhaant, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Same here, man. Same here.
So my first question to you is, do you remember the first moment when you decided, I'm going to get into Airbnb?
Well, it's a little bit surreal sitting here because I guess when I joined B&B in Dubai, I was like the first 10 members there. So little bit back, when I used to live in Marina and means to do work from home for my other IT business. And in Marina and JBR, there are way too many people who are doing Airbnb business and VRBO and some other hostel platforms they use. So when I used to work from the cafes, I used to connect with a couple of people and they used to tell me about their stories, how they are running their business.
Other Airbnb hosts.
Yeah. And they used to take 3-bedroom apartments, rent out individual rooms. And that's what I've been getting the information since past almost 1 year, 2023 and start of 2024. And I was like, oh, this is a really good business. Means all I have to do is just take a couple of apartments, just lease out individual rooms. And all I have to do is just sit in a cafe, just run some numbers, refresh on the laptop.
And get free money.
And money is just only credit messages. Money is crediting. But when I joined the business, joined the B&B community, and once I started knowing about the rules and regulation of Dubai, and you have to have a LLC here, which is cost a lot of money compared to other countries for sure, like US and UK. So then it's not like a side hustle, but it's like a proper real business here in Dubai.
True. So before we get into the specifics of Dubai, what is the business model you operate in? You do subleasing or revenue sharing? Explain me a bit about how you do Airbnbs in Dubai.
I have 98% of my portfolio into subleasing.
98%.
And I have just 2 units rather, means even more, and the number might be more because I just have 2 units on revenue share, and that is coming from my first landlord, the first unit I took. So just a little bit, if I have to say about this, I thought just compared to the rents what were there in Marina and JBR and the rents what they are in downtown Dubai, means there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I thought that, okay, maybe I'm going to take 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms at a much cheaper price. But when I started checking out apartments from Bayut or Property Finder, reality sunk in and the prices are way too above my calculations. So I ended up taking 1 3-bedroom apartment in Forte Tower.
This is your first apartment?
Was a 3-bedroom apartment? The very first apartment after seeing almost, believe it or not, over 80 units after viewing. Because I thought I'm only taking a couple of units in Burj Royal.
So it took you a while before you got to your first unit?
Well, if I have to say, I registered my company in March 2024.
March 2024, okay.
The first unit I took, that was at end of June. So I was doing a lot of calculations, whether I should start in summer or not, whether it should work. And I have to have a perfect unit, which is not the case. And finally got accepted.
Let's draw the timeline, because in March 2024, you registered your company. And in June, you got your first unit, 2024, last year.
Yes.
And when did you take the decision to actually start this business?
That was 2023.
2023, so end of 2023 or?
No, it's from startup. That was never in Dubai. I never thought that I'll be doing something in Dubai in terms of Airbnb. I've been following a couple of people in the US. So I have another friend who's there in the US, which is connected to my IT business. Yeah. So I thought that we're going to do some Airbnb there in the US.
That's where it grew big, right?
Yeah.
We both know Syed.
Yes.
Very successful Airbnb host in the USA. Hamza and a couple more people who are very successful.
Correct.
I think I can speak for a lot of us to say that they're one of our inspirations, right?
100%.
So apart from that, let's head back to the business model, because doing Airbnb, running Airbnbs, what does that mean? We operate in 2 business models. So that's what I asked you first, subleasing. That's the main model you use, right?
Yes.
So that's where you rent an apartment long term, and then you put them on Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO, and other platforms, and for a higher price than the long term rent. And
Rental
you
arbitrage.
want to make a profit, right? So that's the idea. So the difference between the long term and the short term is supposed to be your profit.
Correct.
And then revenue sharing, you started to do that with
Only 2 units. That was just recently, 2 months back. or 1.5 months back. That was my first owner. So revenue share is something, if I have to say, is like where you take a unit from a particular owner, get them furnished by the owner's cost, and you put them and do short-term rentals, and you split the profits.
Yeah.
That depends. Like the market standard is 80-20.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people do 85-15. So that just came up is because with my first owner, I just had a Ijari renewal, and they were pretty
Ijari
happy.
is the registration of your tenancy
Ijari
contract in
is
Dubai, right?
something what is a rental agreement which you go to the government office and you get a certificate kind of a thing by paying a specific amount, and that is like a guarantee from the Dubai government or from the DLD that you for 1 year this particular apartment is yours. So which just like helps you in terms of tenancy protection.
Yeah.
So that's what. So I had a Ijari renewal.
This is Dubai specific.
Yes.
And can you explain to me why did you choose Dubai for your Airbnb? Because you said that that wasn't the idea initially.
Exactly.
Right? You looked at the USA, you looked at other countries. Why Dubai?
Well, I think we have to obviously take the name of Bergathor,
Yeah.
because he was the guy. I saw his videos. He started making videos about subleasing in Dubai, and I was just casually watching a couple of videos. And your Instagram the algorithm gets completely programmed. You start getting the similar kind of videos. And all of a sudden, after watching it for a couple of weeks, I was like, okay, this is something that is doable in Dubai as well. So I started doing some more research, some more information, some more videos. And then finally, March 2024 end, there was a STR event in DIFC. That's where I first met you.
STR, short-term rentals, right?
Yes,
So, yeah.
short-term rentals. That's where I met you and Syed.
Yeah.
And from there, it started, okay, I have to register this business. Because when I came to the STR event, I didn't even have my company registered. So after that, I went ahead.
I remember this event. I think it was me, Syed. Was Bergthor also there?
Bergthor
The
as
three
well.
of us were speaking,
Yes,
I believe. Yes,
exactly.
you're right. I remember that.
Exactly.
It was a nice moment,
Yeah.
You said that you thought that when you started this business, like you're going to sit in a cafe, drink your coffee or your matcha or your tea or whatever, and see the money pour in,
Yes.
like free money, basically. Is it free money?
It's not at all. Not at all.
Why?
It's a real business, and it takes a lot of time, and you have to do a lot of calculations. Dubai is a great place. I will have to say this. It has ton of opportunities. Has a great tourist attraction. So 6-7 months, there's a huge amount of tourists. That's why there are so many thousands of holiday homes.
Yeah.
But it's not that you just take a rental and just put it on a political platform and you just put any specific number and like double the number of your particular rent, and people will start booking it like, oh, this, I have to book this. This is something good.
Yeah.
And money will keep pouring in. That's not the case.
No.
So I would really say that someone who's really looking forward to start and thinking of as a side hustle with just 2-3 units, I would say to think about it, not to get started. I'll be honest. That means not to get started. Think about it, because if this thing would have been in the US or the UK, say for instance in UK, if you want to open a company, it's like what, like less than £100 where you can register a company.
Yeah.
In US, it's like $200 to $300 compared to a specific state. But here it's like over 20 to 30,000 dirhams for a particular company.
So and that's like around $8,000, right?
Yes.
So that's a lot of money.
A lot of
it's
money.
a huge. But then why Dubai?
Well, obviously, because the numbers speaks for itself. If you run it properly and your revenue management is correct, just to pull it a little back, I think the very first win on a short-term rental, especially in subleasing, is when you sign the Ijari. That's your first win.
Yeah.
So if your
When you found your unit, you sign a tenancy contract, that feels like the first win in your journey.
Yeah, but the numbers has to be right. Yeah. When you're signing the contract in the Ijari, your numbers has to be right, irrespective of the unit. Even if it's just below Burj Khalifa and just beside the fountain, on just right side the corner. And once you think that particular unit really has wow views, but the rent is a little bit high, you want to take the risk, I think people should not go for it.
Now, this is a very interesting topic, right? Because we have seen a lot of people sign a lot of deals just because they think that, again, it's free money. And you just sign a deal, put it on Airbnb, and you will make money like guaranteed. Well, that's not the case.
Exactly.
We figured that out. Why do you think people are still like taking these high rent units without having a proper calculation?
I think, how to say,
you're a numbers guy. Like we discuss numbers often.
100%. It's like I don't want to call out names, but I think I have to call out, once I have to say that it's because of a lot of social media as well. I have to say, because no disrespect to anyone, but there are way too many Airbnb gurus in the market, to be honest. Okay. I'm not saying who's fake, who's genuine, but people are following all these particular people and thinking, because they might be having those hurdles as well at the back, you see. But the videos are the polished ones, you see. So whatever they are seeing, what they say means, if someone goes to one person's profile on Instagram, they just click on the stories and see financials. They say, let's see his last 6 months financials, and month by month when they see. So what is going on in terms of rent or loss book, they see how much profit. So the way I calculated, when Bergathor said that he's making on an average $30,000 something profit per unit in a year, that's doable. And the way I calculated in start of 2024, like, okay, this guy is super smart. He knows his game. So if he's making $30,000 profit per unit, so say for instance, if I start a particular unit and maybe I'm not doing well, so let's say half, 15,000, and let's calculate 15 into 20 units now. Now that's a good number.
That's all of a sudden a significant amount of profit.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm in. So that's how I made a similar mistake. When there was a huge learning curve. I think I have a guy who is 15 to 16 years experience into who's a hotelier and is a revenue manager.
Yeah.
And
so a revenue manager is basically the specialist regarding pricing, right? The revenue manager sets the pricing for a room, for an apartment on Airbnb, Booking.com to maximize the revenue and therefore the profit of the company, right?
Exactly. So there's a platform called Price Labs, which is the most famous one. So Price Labs gets connected with your PMS, which is a host away, which host away is also, PMS is something where you have multiple OTAs like Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, VRBO, Trivago. So all the units are when they're listed.
All these, you just mentioned quite some names, right? So you don't host only guests through Airbnb.
Yep. No. First of all, the business is not Airbnb. That's the first thing to get started with. A lot of people say, what business you are in? So people say, I'm in the Airbnb business. So you are not in the Airbnb business. You are in a short-term rental business. Airbnb is just a OTA, just one of the particular platforms.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most growing platforms. So you have to list your particular properties into multiple OTAs. So we get a significant amount of booking from Airbnb and Booking.com. Started picking up on Expedia as well. Then there is VRBO and other platforms like Osklov in Russia and some other things in Chinese, which are pretty tough to get in, but there are multiple OTAs.
Yeah. So out of 100 bookings, how many of these bookings are actually Airbnb bookings for you?
That depends on month to month, but if I have to give it on average, I think 50 to 55% is on Airbnb.
Okay.
Over 30% is from Booking.com.
Okay.
5% means Book Expedia, we just got started like last month, so I would not take those numbers, and the rest is direct booking for us.
Direct booking. So you take direct bookings as well, which means that you have guests who book directly with your company without paying any commission to Airbnb, Booking.com, which is financially great, of course.
That is.
How do you get your direct reservations? Where do you get them from?
Well, that's a big plus in this particular business is if you can save on the OTA commissions. You have to be on the OTA or else you will never get new customers. But
OTA is online travel agents, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like Airbnb, Booking.com and other platforms. But all the particular guests who have lived with you, say for instance, for us, it's like we've been hosting since 11 months so far. So in 11 months, whatever customers who have lived with us, we are all connected with them in a particular platform. Now we use DoubleTick. Before it was all manual WhatsApp groups.
We're talking about communication platforms, right?
It's a communication platform.
Talk to them
Exactly.
When they send you WhatsApp and it comes to one platform, so you don't have to need to type WhatsApps on a phone, but it gets to one platform.
Exactly.
And your team, which I want to discuss also, your team gets to respond to those inquiries, right? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
So means we have to you have to deal with your customers in a very good manner and help them feel that yes, you have come out of your home and you are visiting that particular place. So there are hundreds of particular apartments. It's not that something you can do something extraordinary. Everyone is ready to do extraordinary, but at least you can make them feel better and comfort when they have booked a particular place and means when they are there in your accommodation.
Yeah.
So we do a really good communication with our customers. Means at least that what we have kept so far really good, and we get around 10 to 15% on an average direct booking every month.
What kind of bookings? Sorry.
Direct bookings.
Direct bookings. So what happens is you make sure that you give a good experience to your guests. You communicate with them directly, and they will reach out to you on WhatsApp or give you a call, and then you sell them basically the unit directly, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So how many units you're at right now?
I am on 33 now.
33 apartments. I mean, it's quite an operation. I mean, that's not a small company anymore.
Yeah.
In 11 months, it's very impressive.
It's crazy. Man. It's a wild ride.
Yeah,
it's a wild ride.
I can imagine. So how does it work? Because all these people, all these units have guests who check in on a daily basis. I think on a daily basis, how many check-ins would you have?
Around 12 to 15.
12, 15 check-ins. It's quite a lot. You need to talk to all these people. You need to upload their details into the government system, the DTCM, in the building system. They might have questions. You need to answer them. You don't do that by yourself, right?
No.
What does your team look like?
So I have a team. This is something which I'm working on, hands-on every day, and I'm trying to get better and better. But to be honest, I'm failing. I have to admit, and there are a lot of failures as well. So I'm failing really miserably on this particular thing by building a strong team. So if I have to say, before I had outsourced my co-hosting, the entire communication, to a co-hosting company. So that I pulled back, and around January or February, and I created my own team. So I have my own team based in Mumbai, in India, who are ex-Airbnb employees, because there is a huge call center which has an Airbnb process. So I have all the employees, virtual communication, the virtual assistants, they are ex-Airbnb employees. So I have 7 of them who manage 24/7 communication, and they also manage housekeeping communication with the third-party housekeeping company, and the third-party maintenance company who manages all the particular apartments for any normal wear and tear, and any sort of communication. So whenever a guest is about to check in, say for instance tomorrow, so there is a particular group which is connected with them 24 hours prior with their check-in information, etc. and all. If they need any other information nearby.
They get these messages automated, or like your team sends them manually?
It is not automated.
Okay, it's manual communication.
We are still in manual, and I want to keep it that way for now.
Why?
Just like a personal thing. I just want to keep it manual.
Okay.
I don't have a problem. It's working fine. I just don't want to touch those things.
Never change your winning team, right?
Yeah. So
makes sense.
It's like kind of a habit. So it's just like keep going on. Everything is working smooth, so I don't want to touch anything which is working fine.
Makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
So you have 7 VAs, virtual assistants, right? So they work remotely from Mumbai, and they talk to all guests. They upload the documentation, passport, ID, etc., etc. An external cleaning company, external housekeeping company, external maintenance company?
Not 100%. Yeah, there's a maintenance company, a third-party maintenance company, but it's no more external cleaning company as no more now, because last month, I guess, at the end of April, I made a massive decision of hiring my own cleaners.
Okay.
So that was a big one, because so far we have now 10 cleaners hired for our company.
And they work full-time in your company?
Full-time for us. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to hire another housekeeping supervisor and build an entire cleaning process, a cleaning team, and a particular process which will work only for our company. This is not for any other company. Like, we're not looking forward to do a cleaning business, but it's completely for Skyline Serenity.
And this is a very interesting topic, right? Because we've discussed this quite a few times. Cleaning is a core part of our business.
100%.
Not only because the apartment needs to be cleaned, but also because they see first how a guest left an apartment, and if there's any damages, you can file them for air cover, etc., etc. That's one, and two, obviously, like when the guest enters, how clean the apartment is their first impression, right? So we had quite a few discussions about. Should you do housekeeping in-house, so hire individual cleaners, structure your own process, your driver, your linen, etc., etc., or do you want to like minimize overhead and put it in an external outsourced company? You decided to move from outsourced to in-house step by step. How do you feel about the decision now?
Well, just how you just explained it means. Specifically about overheads. So hiring in Dubai is not something like you just posted an ad, interviewed a couple of people, you told them, okay, you can join from next Monday, and they start and things are not working. Next month you say, okay, you're fired. Because whenever you hire someone, you have to give them visa. So you have to get them employment legally under your company. So that was one thing which was always at the back of my mind, whether I should hire a lot of cleaners, because it's about increasing the overheads. Irrespective of the salary amount, that doesn't matter, but still you have overheads.
You need to pay them a visa, a work permit, health insurance.
Exactly. And that's not cheap.
No.
Not at all. True. And that same thing is multiplied by number of cleaners I'm going to hire.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. But the problem is...
But it's definitely against hiring cleaners in-house, right?
Exactly.
But you still did it.
Exactly. So what I was calculating, why I was even calculating whether I should hire some cleaners or not, because when I was calculating what amount of revenue we are generating in terms of cleaning revenue, and what am I paying to third-party company. So we were always making around very less, like 8 to 10,000 on an average monthly profits in the cleaning revenue.
Yeah. So on Airbnb, you charge your daily rate. And on top of that, you charge a one-time cleaning fee per reservation.
Correct.
So let's say this cleaning fee is 400 dirhams, and it's an example. The housekeeping company charged you 300, so you make 100, for example, like imaginary numbers. So you're making 8 to 10,000 dirhams profit on the cleaning fee.
Yeah,
but
used to. But then when I calculated that even if I hire like 8 to 10 cleaners, a housekeeping supervisor, then you have to have a warehouse, then there is like ongoing purchase that you need to do in terms of all the amenities and stuff. Still, I'll be making at least 3 times the money what I'm saving now. But again, when the decision was not completely based on the money I would save, but it's actually about the quality control. Because with due respect, the cleaning company which I was using, I think it is the same problem with all the cleaning companies. Everybody is in the business to grow their business. Nobody says, okay, you're my client, irrespective of whether I have any other client who I have to assist, I'm going to give you the first priority. So that's a dream. So everybody
wishful
wants to
thinking.
Yeah, wishful thinking, 100%. So everybody wants to grow their business. So my cleaning company, they have also been growing since past couple of months. They're constantly taking clients after clients. And I noticed, and my team started notifying me that the quality is going down.
Yeah.
And we started getting complaints. So
bad reviews by guests.
Bad reviews. And to get those reviews removed, we had to refund customers. You see, and that's a loss of revenue.
Yeah. Definitely.
There has been a couple of instances where customers are flying in from the US and they enter the beautiful apartment of 3.5 bedroom and things are messy. And they say, they just call Airbnb, and Airbnb is very much customer centric. So the moment the customer complains, means Airbnb says you refund them now, or means you have to fix this.
Yeah.
But end of the day, customer will always get a refund, either a portion or a full.
So you feel that Airbnb is very guest oriented.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And for this reason, you want to make sure that the quality is perfect, right?
Yeah, of course.
Which means you need to have control over the quality.
Yes.
And that's your reason for doing in-house cleaning.
Exactly.
Makes absolute sense.
Yeah. So we had 4 cleaners initially, then had another 4 means a couple of weeks back, and had 2 more like last week.
Yeah.
So we just are trying to understand what number is required to means clean all our apartments. We are not 100% in-house so far. I would say we are like 75%. So just like you, means I've been learning a lot from you and Smart Stay. I've been doing a lot of copy pasting. So just like you told me long back that when I was on a one-to-one call with you, that I had 3 units that time, I remember. And all the 3 units were in different towers. So you told me something that the biggest mistake what I'm doing is I'm adding units.
Yeah.
I should add units, but not towers. I'm doing the reverse, but I'm adding towers, but not just
units. Not units in one tower, yeah.
So then when
Which you definitely fix right now, right?
Yes, 100%. Means after that, that really struck me. So when I started checking a particular portfolio, means what are you exactly doing?
Yeah.
So I saw that 90 to 95% of your portfolio was just in 3 towers.
Yeah, true.
So after that, I started doing the same. So right now, our 80% of our portfolio is just in 2 towers.
Very good.
So, and they are just side by side. It's like walking distance, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So my cleaning company is just managing those 2 towers. That's it.
Very
and
good.
they're also in those 2 towers as well. If there is on a daily basis, if there are multiple checkout cleanings, we still outsource to the third party company.
If there's too much, if there's too much work, you outsource. Otherwise, you do it by yourself.
I don't mind paying that. Means it's okay. It's just about things has to be ready and in a much proper way.
Definitely.
But it's not that as I have the in-house cleaners, so everything we should do it to save money. So that is not the purpose.
Makes sense. So it's quality control, but also also saving money at the same time. This is definitely something that I've always been recommending people, and I'm glad you brought it up, is not to do one unit here, one unit there, one unit here, one unit there, but focus on one building. If it's good, expand there, because it's going to be good for your operations. Way easier. Also for your check-in instructions, for your housekeeping, for your maintenance, for your relationships within the building, right? With the reception, they will know your company name. Everything will be way easier if you focus on one building. So whenever someone asks me, is this a good building or is this a good unit? And they already have units, I'm like, yeah, but what's wrong with your initial building, right? Because it's not about the tower only, it's about your company. How do you structure your company?
Exactly.
How do you scale? And how do you get from one? Imagine you're 33. Imagine they would be in 33 different buildings. Man.
Even 10. Even 10.
That would be horrible.
So I just have 2 guest relation executives so far.
They
are very, means they manage it very well.
So the guest relation executives, what do they do exactly?
Guest relation executives are the one who meet and greet customers and do the check-in process, as are all the units are in MR towers.
Okay.
So MR has a rule which just got applied like a couple of months back, where a representative from the holiday home has to be there physically to check in your guest.
Yeah.
So they do check in, check out, and just check the apartments. So they are easy. They can manage both the towers very easily in a less span of time. Like, it's just 2 minutes walking, and I've given them scooties where they can just move around in downtown.
Very easy for them. Imagine if you'd be in multiple buildings, you have to like double, triple, or quadruple your workforce, which will basically stop you from making a profit.
And check-in time is like specific, which starts from almost 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And in that particular 1 hour is like almost 70% or 80% of the check-ins are happening.
Yeah. I want to circle back to what you said before, because you mentioned now quite a solid team, like 7 VAs, 2 guest relation officers. They have their steps, their scooters, and they just they seem to manage. But you said that you feel that you failed in building a team so far. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
If I have to say again, back to Smart Stay, I mean, when I used to chat with you, when I last met you in DIFC, you were like on your 15th, that day itself, you signed your 15th unit. I remember that.
Yeah.
So you told me like on 15 units, you had a particular manager, which was, if I'm not wrong, with the holiday home experience. If I'm not wrong.
VA experience, yes.
Yeah,
so yes,
yeah.
Airbnb experience.
And you told me like once you cross 30, you need someone with the hotel experience. So the revenue manager, means my pricing guy, you can say I've been learning a lot from him as well in terms of numbers and all. I'm the guy who still doesn't touch price labs. If you ask me like some deep questions about what is MPI, CGI, AGI, ARI and all, I would not even be able to tell you, because I feel that if I'm running a particular business, I cannot do everything. So whoever is the expert in that particular specific domain or category, you just hire that particular person and just leave. If that person is right, you have to give the trust and just leave that particular thing. Let them do their work. So he takes care of the entire pricing. So he used to tell me that you cannot hire someone from the holiday home experience because you have gone to 30 units now. You have to hire someone from a hotel experience. Now, the reason I didn't hire someone like even a manager from a holiday home experience in my 15 or 20 units. And now as I come down to 33 units, so hiring someone all of a sudden, I keep questioning myself. Is this the right person who I'm going to give the main thing, and he's going to run my entire business? So
it's specifically finding the right manager. That's a difficult part.
That's like the person in control completely. Everyone, he or she is gonna take all the shots, call the shots, you see, and gonna be above everyone and manage. So it's pretty tough. So I would really say if anyone is scaling, around 12 to 15, that number of unit, that's the right time to hire a particular manager. I made a big mistake.
Yeah, you feel that you're a bit too late with hiring a manager.
Way too
How
late.
does it impact your day?
As I have another business, so that is a little bit automated. So I just have to get on a couple of calls and just speak to the team. But this particular business, short-term rental, I get a lot of calls. Right now, it's like in the kind of a situation where anything goes wrong, people are there, they can work, they can deliver, but they are not the decision makers, if I have to say. So for every small things, for decision maker, for the last moment, they need to give me a call or message me. Should I do this? Should I do not? So even if it's just for a second, means I have to just say, okay, yes, do this. Okay, no, you're making this particular mistake, do that. So sounds very easy, you see. But imagine if that's 20, 30
it's
times.
not easy.
No, that's just 5 seconds. But imagine if that's 20, 30 times a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and before I didn't, my number was given on booking.com and other OTAs as a main emergency contact. So something goes wrong, I'm sleeping and 3 a.m. booking.com calls me from a Singapore number or some XYZ number. I was like, why someone is calling me? When I pick up, booking.com representative is explaining it, some situation happened with the guest, and I don't even know if that name of some person is even living in one of my properties.
No, of course you don't.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
So I have to read out them, okay, someone is going to get back to you or something like that on the extranet at the booking.com and all. So I'm not able to delegate tasks properly. That's a failure.
This is the key. The key of building a business is to be able to delegate. Otherwise, you're basically buying yourself a very expensive job.
Exactly.
Right. So you invest a ton of money because it's not cheap to start a business like this. And at the end of the day, you have like a 60-hour per week job or 70-hour or whatever. This is the biggest challenge, to grow a business that functions, that works without your continuous involvement. Being the bottleneck in your own business is a horrible feeling, especially if it takes too long.
Agree.
So I fully get you. So you think that the solution would have been to start hiring sooner? Correct?
100% means on 10-15 units, that's the right number. What I feel means someone needs to get a manager.
Yeah.
Means even if not at a hotel experience, but at least with some holiday home vacation rental experience in the UAE or in the Middle East, so that they can get started and you can offload a lot of tasks.
Yeah.
Means if you had to restart, means if I have to ask you, means wouldn't you have done that on the 15 number of units?
Definitely. I mean, I even from the get-go, when I started, like when I got my first unit, I already hired, right? So I started hiring back then. My ambition was always to have that person back then grow into a manager. That didn't turn out to be a success, unfortunately. And I went through this cycle a couple of times. And every time the person got better, more skilled. But also what's important to understand is a company needs a different type of manager for a different phase of the company. So a company that has like a holiday home company that has 4 units or 10 units, you still need someone to manage. You need a right-hand person. But when it's 20 or 30, that's a different person. When it's 80, it's a different person. When it's 300, it's a different person. That doesn't mean that these people can't like turn into the next person if they grow. But if your company grows fast, which your company did, I mean, you're 11 months in and 33 units, that's super fast, right? So it's very tough for people to keep up with that pace of growth. So back to your question, would I hire from the get-go, or how soon would I hire? From the get-go. But it also depends, of course, on your financial capacity to hire someone from the start, right? Because it's not cheap to start a business like this. You have to get your company set up, like you said, it's like 20 to 30,000 dirhams. You have to get your office, you have to get your unit, etc., etc. So that's the tricky part. When do you ideally want to hire? Versus when can you hire in your specific situation? And then there are people who say, I want to get external money. So a big investor who invests like $1 million, 2 million, whatever, like this, 3 million, 4 million, like that number. I want to know your views on that. Like, what do you feel about like injecting external money to speed up the growth of your business, to be able to make those hires faster? But yeah, against what cost, right? Because you might give away control. What are your ideas about external investments?
I'll come to that, but I'll just circle back a little bit on the particular point we were talking. So a couple of months back, when we used to talk with the community members or someone in the similar business, so whenever the topic of smart stay used to come, I wish like you and Bergathar, you post like number of employees you guys hire, what are the numbers you're making in terms of finance. So there were a lot of people, the discussion used to be like, why in the world this guy is hiring so many people? You're hiring a lot.
Yeah.
And that is from the get-go. You see, so even at 15 units means you said that you have 3 guest relation executives, you're hiring this number of people, you're hiring more. And whenever we used to get on a call every second week, you say, okay, I'm hiring this particular person, I'm hiring this person. And it's like constantly someone is hiring. So somehow, somehow I feel, I'm not saying that I'm at that particular position where Smart Stay is, that's a long way to go. Wish that happens soon. But at 30 plus units, I can definitely say that means hiring early is pretty much important.
Yeah.
Even if you're not making any money from the business, you don't, mean so far, I have not taken a single penny in terms of salary from the particular company. I just want to keep reinvesting and keep the business grow. So you have to hire someone pretty early so that you can keep delegating. So delegating tasks at 10, 12, 15 units is far much easier than doing it in 30 number of units.
Definitely. 100% true.
Everybody goes to Google and everybody searches Instagram and all the success stories. Means this can say it's a kind of a failure of mine, and I have no shame into admitting it. I should have done that early, and that is really impacting my business.
So this is your one big lesson.
Big lesson.
You wish you had done differently when you started your business is hire skilled people for management positions, like with decision-making authority earlier in your journey.
Well, if you're looking forward for a side hustle business and just say you're always going to be at 2, 3, 4 units, maybe not. But if you are treating this as a real business, a proper business, something which you want to scale, this is not a side hustle anymore. I don't know, how would someone say a vacation rental business in Dubai with so many legalities and licenses, how can someone even call it a side hustle though? But still, if it is a real business and you want this particular business to scale, you have to hire people.
Definitely. Well, nowadays, in the past, it used to be the case that you could sublease units without having a company. Now it's not allowed anymore. You need to have a company. The good thing is you can rent an office in a business center versus like a completely separate office. Every time when someone asks me, can I do it as a side hustle? My answer is yes, but you should either collaborate with someone who already has a company. You can work with them and you can manage your few units, your investments, and maybe agree on some kind of commission. But if you set up a company, like a proper company, you should not think that you can make a profit running 2 or 3 or 4 units, because you need to renew your license, you need to have an office, etc., etc. That's a challenge.
Coming back to your question.
Yes, about the external financing. Yeah.
So after having 18 to 20 units, I got approached by a couple of people who wanted to invest money into the business, all with different terms, wild ones. And I had never taken any external investments in ever. So I had no idea. So I had to go and reach out to a couple of people who have expertise in terms of finance and all that, whether I should take money from some investment or what term should it be. Should I give share or should I make a contract and all? So far I did say yes to one person, that also for a very small amount, but I have not taken the money yet and not injected it. Might do it before the high season. So far I have grown organically, completely. But if
and
you
with
have
your own money also, right?
Own money. I think that taking one of the biggest risks is, as if you want to take a particular unit in subleasing, you have to pay on an average 4 checks, quarterly checks for the entire year.
4 checks. So this is how the system in Dubai works. You usually don't pay monthly rentals, but you sign a contract and you hand over checks to the landlord, like predated checks, which means that if something costs 100,000, you give the landlord 4 checks of 25,000. So you pay your rent upfront. If you're lucky, per 3 months. If you have bad luck, they want you to pay per year, which you shouldn't do, by the way.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's a check
I'll just add
system.
something funny that I remembered. So as I leveraged a lot as you pay 4 checks. So normally when somebody wants to take a unit, means they should always calculate their second check, because it's not that you gave your first quarter money and in the 3 months the OTAs are gonna just generate that amount of revenue. It's just like the same wishful thinking. It's just when the unit is live, all you have to do is just sip your cup of coffee and just refresh and the money is coming in.
The initial thought, sitting in a cafe.
That's not happening. But I would definitely say when I took my first unit, that was a 3.5 bedroom, and I didn't expect to take such a big apartment, and that the rent was significantly high, and I had no one. Obviously, was doing it for the first 2 units. I was doing it all by myself. So
All the work, you mean? Like
all the work. And
guest relations,
yeah.
VA, housekeeping.
housekeeping was always
Okay,
the external company.
Yeah.
So I listed on Airbnb. I got one booking. Checkout was done, and I thought, okay, bookings are gonna come. So you get stressed out. So every time I used to just keep on refreshing. I was like, is the Airbnb not
Where's
working?
my money? Where's my money?
Yeah. Why the booking is not coming?
Yeah.
So I have a childhood friend who lives in Marina as well with me. His name is Ronak. So I used to tell him like, what's going on? Why am I not getting the booking? The apartment is so well furnished, and I see other people's apartments and they are getting booked. I must be doing something wrong. And 2 to 3 days, I didn't get booking. You're gonna stay. I don't know how is this gonna sound, but I'll still say it because I just want to be very genuine and share my story.
That's the idea of this podcast. So go ahead.
So it was after having dinner the night, I told him, sit in the car. We're going to go and sleep in our apartment. Okay. I went to the apartment, and he just, after like having a quick chat and all, means watching TV and all, he went to the bedroom and slept. And I was in the living room, all lights are off. I was like, oh my God, have I made a bad decision? I'm paying such a humongous amount of rent, and I think I made a bad decision.
That was your one moment where you thought, I shouldn't have
I
done
still
this.
remember. I was like just sitting in the living room, and I was like, this is not gonna get rented. I've done something really bad, and I have already signed another third unit contract, and it's like once you made a contract, means you have to pay. Or else if you just come out of the contract, you pay a 2 months fine. That's the law of Dubai in the Ijari contract.
Correct.
And I was like, okay, this is another financial loss. But things, if I see now, where in 11 months, less than a year, I'm at 33 units, I took a lot of risk. And it's not something I would say that I was a guru and I thought, okay, this is going to work. I knew everything. It is month by month I was learning. Means it's like a student, and I would still want to be. I don't want to be a guru even now. Means I still want to be a student, keep on learning. It was in the month of October where I saw that, okay, all the units are getting booked. So till October, we were just at 7 units.
7 units, yeah.
Mid-January, we were at 23 units.
That means that in 3 months, you scaled like significantly.
Exactly.
16 units.
Exactly. So it was like just put on the fifth gear because I knew now that was the time of taking risk because things were working. I just onboarded the revenue manager and everything was working fine. So I knew now if I onboard units, I do not have to worry about the second check. So that element of risk I have to take and just go all in.
And you don't worry about the second check
in the month of November.
In the month of November, obviously, it's high season.
Because mid-October till mid-April, a little bit March, the Ramadan time, you can just say is the low season a little bit, but that's the time actually when you make money.
Yes.
So it's not only with the short-term rental, but most of the businesses, even the cafes and restaurants, how do they run the business in Dubai? Maybe all over the UAE, but specifically in Dubai is like they make the money in 6 months or 6.5 months. And the rest 5.5 months, they just try to break even.
To survive.
Yeah, basically. Exactly. So that's the entire business model here. So that's where I went all in and I just constantly... And also to do something like this, you need a particular tower. I have to add this. You have to have a tower which has that number of available units for you.
Yeah.
At the right price.
Yeah.
So obviously it means where me and you share a good number of units, that particular tower had a lot of units, and as it just got handed over. So I would not say it was easy to break the price, but means you take 1 or 2 units, show the Ijari to all the other investors and all the other landlords by dedicated. I work with a dedicated agent.
Yeah.
So my agent was dedicatedly working for me, sending my existing Ijaris. Okay, this particular series, is this the price? This is the price.
And it became a snowball, basically. So with the first one, you get the second one, you get the third one, you get the fourth one, etc.
So the first 2 units I took in that particular tower, I got the Ijari. Little bit high price I paid, but I wanted that Ijari. Not the rental price. I paid double the agent commission for those 2 units.
So you pay agent commission. This is like a percentage of the rent you pay to the agent.
Yes.
For being of service as a commission, basically.
Exactly.
Which is usually 5% in
exactly.
Dubai. But you pay 10%.
I paid 10%.
Why did you do that?
I just wanted to have the Ijari at the lower rent.
Yeah.
Okay. So once I have a Ijari, so it's like I can penetrate the market with all the landlords in the same series and say, okay, maybe I signed it for 210, say for instance, and the market rate is going for 250, 260 per year. Okay. I say, no, it's not like that. I have a Ijari and that says 210. So it's like 100 units in that particular series.
Smart.
So
smart strategy.
In 3 months, I was able to take 12 units in that particular same series, and they paid it off in the 3 months itself. So I never had to worry about the second check. So that's how it just moved on.
And all in one building.
All in
to
one
streamline
building.
your operations.
Exactly.
Now, you have had other businesses before, right? And you still have other activities, which means, I mean, I assume that you're able to invest out of other income streams. Some people don't, right? Most people don't. What would you advise them if they look at this episode and they feel like, yeah, I want to get into the Airbnb business too. It sounds very interesting. I have a passion for it. I want to make money too. What should they do?
Well, it's a good line of business. I wouldn't say the entire model of the business is wrong. Means arbitrage is always a good model, be it in rental arbitrage or currency arbitrage, whatever. But means if somebody has to get into this, means he needs a lot of proper planning. Because I know a couple of people who are doing a job and they have 1 or 2 Airbnbs. They took a loan or some small amount of savings and they started a particular business. I have been approached by 1 or 2 people. They poured a significant amount of money into the business. They know nothing about Airbnb, but someone they knew, they said, okay, this is the right business. This is going to be the multi-million-dollar business.
And they just follow blindly.
And I came, just a short story. I was sitting at a cafe in downtown and one of my agent told me that I want you to meet another client of mine and he has been struggling in the business. And maybe you can just have a cup of coffee and just be there with him for 30 minutes and make him sure whether his numbers are right.
Yeah.
When I met that particular guy, he was 2.2 million dirhams already in. He had seven units, okay? And all the units, what he had, he was asking me, when can I break even? When I just roughly, I'm not like super.
And he was already 2.2 million in.
Already in. And he doesn't have Airbnb experience as well. So it's just like me and you. If I'm your friend since many years, I'm like, okay, you have the money, just pour in this particular business, and it's just gonna double every year. You see, it's like that particular Aladdin Chirag. You just rub it and then.
Well, that's not the way to go, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
So this is also an interesting topic, right? Because you have been a member of the B&B in Dubai community pretty much since the start of the community.
Yes.
Very, very
the
early
pilot
on.
batch.
You were in the pilot batch, very much appreciated member of the community, by me, but also by other community members. I mean, for the ones who don't know, the B&B Dubai community is a community I started for Airbnb hosts or upcoming Airbnb hosts in Dubai to learn how to do the business the right way, right? And you joined very early. What I really like about your strategy...
The time when I joined...
You were... Like you stood on the sidelines, you learned a lot, watched all the videos, asked a ton of questions. And I'm like, when is this guy going to start with the actual business? And then you started and man, you took off. Yeah. So how did the membership of the community, how did that help you?
Yeah, the time I joined, if I have to say that, when you didn't even had a course.
There was nothing. There was nothing yet.
So people started doubting you for the next 2 weeks. Like, okay, we paid in, we are here, the members are there, the pilot batch. When the course is going to stand, is this somewhere we need to go and find out? And where is it? And you're like, we are just still making the course. We need another week. It was like that time. So B&B in Dubai, I was being part of another particular community as well later on. But I would say why B&B in Dubai worked out for me pretty well. As you said, other people who wants to start this particular business, they need, I would not say they need to go pay thousands of dirhams or dollars to a particular mentor and get this, but there are a lot of information already on the internet. But B&B in Dubai, the entry fee was pretty less. And you were there live on calls every particular week. And the way you structured B&B in community was like on school.com, where each and everyone was helping everyone.
Yes.
And they were like layers on level 1, level 2, level 3. So to get hand of that particular specific information is like a target. So if you want to, say for instance, there's a financial calculator. You want the financial calculator, you have to go on level 3. So to go on level 3, you have to help n number of hours or n number of likes to people where they're liking it.
So engagement.
Like engagement. You were creating the engagement, and that's at the initial level for the first few months. That what made the B&B in Dubai community really work. And that's why so many people joined, and that's why B&B in Dubai, I was able to get on live calls with you. You were sharing your live experience, what was happening with Smart Stay. So That was it.
Yeah, and now this is also like specifically because quite a few community members. I mean, not everybody as fast as you, but there are some success cases. You're
Yes,
definitely one of
100.
them. That's why I created the Scale Up group also.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, I love those calls with the Kickstart group and the Scale Up group. With the Kickstart group, it's about the basics, getting started, getting your first 1 or 2 units, right? And then the Scale Up talks. Every other week where you sit down and have like a conversation about what are we going through right now. And I think this is something you're always there, even if you're in the gym with your AirPods in. And
Not the gym, it's the badminton court.
the badminton court, well, same thing, right? When you're working out. So that's of super high value for each other. And that's something I really enjoy doing as well. I think we're almost running out of time, but I do have like a little game I want to play.
Okay.
And so how it's going to go is I'm going to read the first part of a sentence. I have them written down on my phone.
Okay.
I'm going to read the first part of a sentence. What's that?
Hope this is not tricky.
Let's see. No, you'll be good. So I'm going to read the first part of the sentence and you're going to finish it.
Okay.
Right? So the first one. Only an Airbnb host will understand the pain of
dealing with customers in the summer season, in the low season in Dubai. Because it gets wild, because people are dropping rates in the summer season, and the pain of dealing customers where you have a lot of wear and tear in your particular property, but you just want to fill up your occupancy and break even. This only an Airbnb host will understand what they go through with.
Absolutely true. Well, actually, the next one is in line. The weirdest thing I've ever found in a unit after checkout was...
I cannot say that.
Is it that
I cannot
bad?
say that. I cannot say that in public. Yeah,
No?
of course. Yeah.
The second weirdest.
The second weirdest I can say is means people just messed it up. There's one particular apartment, it was like a jungle. I couldn't even understand whether this is my own apartment, which I just rented. It was a complete jungle. As someone was staying for almost 10, 12 days.
Yeah.
So he completely messed it up. You cannot even recognize this is your apartment.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Super annoying. I have one more. The most unrealistic guest expectation I've ever had was...
Someone asking me that irrespective I'm the owner, they don't want to deal with the employee, I should come down there at that particular tower and assist them.
With their luggage.
Yeah, everything.
You
everything,
personally.
Everything.
Did you do it?
Of course not.
I don't know, man.
Of course not. I was like, you can take the refund.
Final one more, bonus one. My secret Airbnb hack nobody talks about is...
My secret Airbnb hack is, I don't know how to answer this, but I would say the secret Airbnb hack is about taking a lot of risk, and revenue management is the key in this particular business.
Yeah.
So if I have to say anybody who is scaling, do not try to be a guru of price labs and revenue management. Hand over to someone who is an expert.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest key part, biggest role in this particular business, because you can have 10 units, 100 units. To fill them at the right price and get your right ADR and right RevPAR, you have to have that particular person who's very well versed with it, who knows what he's doing, the numbers guy.
Makes sense. So do what you're good at and delegate what someone else can do better.
Exactly. Hire the right people.
Hire
You
the right
cannot
people.
run everything by your own.
That's a very good one-liner to close. Sidhaant, thank you very much for being a very much appreciated guest in my first podcast, and I'm looking forward to this more often with you.
Same here. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Thank you.